Hi, welcome to my video on is a function of part 1. Let's look at the equation y equals mx plus b. The ordered pair, the independent variable is the x, the dependent variable is the y. Let's graph these and look at if they're a function or not. Y equals 2x plus 1. The y-intercept is 1, which is right here. The slope is 2 over 1. So we'll rise 2, run 1. Or instead of rising, we can go down 2, left 1. So what we have is a line passing through those points. Now we've done all this before, but we're now explaining it in relation to is a function. Number 2, y equals negative 3x, and that's a negative 3x understood to be plus 0. So the y-intercept is 0. And the slope is a negative 3 over 1. So from here, which is down 3, right 1. Or we could go, from here we can go up 3, left 1. And we have a line passing through those points. If you notice that the units are all 1s on this graph, everything is a 1. So there's the line that represents that equation. That's the graph of it. Y equals 2. We have y is 2. Well, let's look at that. We have a 2. So notice that y equals mx plus b. Notice there's no x, so that means y equals 0x plus 2. So the slope is 0. So if the y-intercept is 2, which is, that's a 0, 1, 2 right there, and there's no slope, that means y equals 2 is a horizontal line, so we're looking at all points that's on this line right here, horizontal, because the slope is 0 on a horizontal line. Another way to look at that is y is 2, x is 0. Again, y is 2, x could be 1. So if x is 0, y is 2, x is 1, y is 2. Again, these are points that's on this horizontal line. And in each of these, let's look at them. This is all the lines. We have y equals mx plus b. For each of the above, these three right here, y is a function of x. So y, in all of three of these, y is a function of x. A, because each value of x has only one value of y. So if you got x to be 0, y is 1. If you got x to be 1, then y is 3. So there's only one, for every x value, there's only one y value. Over here, if x is negative 1, y is 3. If x is 1, y is negative 3. So again, for each x, there's only one y. So when x is 2, y is 2. When x is 1, y is 2. When x is 0, y is 2. And also, there's another way, it's by the vertical line test. So that means if a vertical line is drawn, if a vertical line passes through only one point, then this is a function. So in other words, if you take this graph and draw a vertical line like that, it'll only pass through there. If we draw this vertical line, it'll pass through there. If we draw this vertical line, there. Or if we draw this vertical line, it'll be there. So no matter what vertical line you draw on this through this line, it'll only hit it at one point. And the same applies to here. So a vertical line down through here intersect the graph right there. A vertical line, which is the y-axis, will hit at 0. And the vertical line hits at whatever that point is. We take a guess, but we really don't know. That's x is a negative a half, y could be 1.5, just taking a guess. But every vertical line that we draw, and this is a horizontal line, so this vertical line intersects it at 1 point. This vertical line, 1 point. This vertical line, 1 point. And we keep drawing these vertical lines, but they'll only intersect at 1 point. So that's why y is a function of x. And let's look at it. Any equation of the form y equals mx plus b. So of this form, y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b. These three are written differently. Slope and y-intercept. This has a slope, y-intercept is 0. This has a 0 slope with a y-intercept. So all of these equations, y is always a function of x. Note the left side, notice y is a function of x. The left side, LS, left side, is a function of the right side. And that's going to take us, if y is a function of x, that means we're solving the equation. The equation is y equals mx plus b. So the left side is a function of the right side. Let's do some examples. Y is a function of x. Note, when we want to write y as a function of x, we're really solving the equation for x. So y equals y equals mx plus b. And this would be true for any equation. As long as you have the equation solved for y will be a function of x. So let's take this one and solve it for y. Y is a function of x, so y is on the left. The x moves over to become negative, and the force positive stays. So there's y equals mx plus b. Y is a function of x. Y is on the left, x is on the right. Y is a function of x here. There's the equal sign, so negative 2y stays on the left. 8x becomes negative by transposition. Negative 6 becomes positive by transposition. Change the sign. Then we divide all the terms by negative 2. That cancels. We get y equals, and that gives us 4x minus 3. So y is a function of x. This is a longer one to do, but we just take our time. We have to get rid of the brackets, so 3 times x, 3x. 3 times negative 2, negative 6. 4 times y, 4y. 4 times negative 6, negative 24. Notice this is the negative of, and when we put a 1 here, it makes it easier. Negative 1 times this makes it negative x plus 10. Negative 1 times x, negative x. Negative 1 times negative 10, 10. Now, when I'm simplifying, I always simplify in an equation, the left side and the right side. So over on the left side, I have a 3x, 4y, they can't be added, but negative 6 and negative 24 is a negative 30. So if you simplify left and right side first, there's less to transpose. Now, we're writing y as a function of x. We're solving for y, so y stays on the left, and all the other variables and constants move to the right. So negative x plus 3x becomes minus 3x. I have a plus 10, already stated, and the negative 30 moves over to become positive 30. So 4y, that's a negative 1. Negative 3, that's a negative 4x plus 40. And we divide all the terms by 4 because we want y by itself. Cancels out. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1x, or negative x, plus 10. So, excuse me, y is a function of x. The equation is solved for y. And a line has a slope of 4 through the point 2, 1. We want to express y as a function of x, so we want to solve for y. So we need the equation for the line. So one way is we can do it as the point slope form. So the point, this is x1, y1. So we got a y minus, y is 1, so we change the sign. Slope is 4. X is 2, so we make it x minus 2. So whatever these signs are here, they change the sign moving in the equation. So we're solving for y, so y minus 1 equals, we remove the brackets first. Now the brackets are gone, 4 times x, 4 times negative 2 down. So y equals minus 8 plus 1, so y equals 4x minus 7. So that really what you're doing is getting the equation up the line in y equals mx plus b. So y is a function of x, which means when you plug the values of x in, you get the values of y much quicker. And another way to do this could be y equals mx plus b. This is y is a function of x right here, right away, whereas this equation, y is not a function of x because the negative 1 is on the left side. We got to move that over. So y is 1, the slope is 4, x is 2. So we sub those three variables in, the numbers in for those variables, we get 1 equals 8 plus b. Leave the b where it is, 1 minus 8. So b becomes negative 7. So y equals mx plus b. So y equals, the slope is 4. And the b is negative 7. So the same equation here as it is here. So there's just two different ways to do that, but it's your choice. E, express y as a function of x. We have a triangle. We know in a triangle that the sum of the interior angles equals 180 in a triangle. I did a whole unit in geometry reviewing the fundamentals, and that's one of them. So that means we take all these angles and add them up, so we get 2y, add on x plus 3, x plus 30, sorry, equals 180. So the sum of these angles added up is 180. And we simplify the left side, so 2y, 1x plus 1x is 2x, plus 30 equals 180. Now we have it all simplified left and right. We will solve for x. Y is a function of x, so 2y equals 2x moves over to become negative 2x. I have a plus 180, and a plus 30 becomes a minus 30. Notice I wrote it as y is a function of x, y equals mx plus b. So we have to simplify the right side first. So that's a plus 150. And we divide all terms by 2 because we need y by itself. We need 1y. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1x, or negative x, plus 75. And you might say, well, why would you want to do this? Well, it's since y is a function of x, if you just think about it, if you said x was 10 degrees, just do this example, I'll show you. If you took x to be 10, then this triangle would have x is 10, x is 10 right here, so that makes that a 40. That makes that 2y, that's 50. So 2y, if you look here, 2y would be 180 take away 50, which is 130. So that would make y 65. So that would make y 65. If you said x was 10, you had to work out y. So 2y would be equal to 180 minus 50, which is 130. So y would work out to be 65 in order for that angle to be 130. Because 130 and 40 and 10 is 150. But if you looked over here and you said x was 10, if you put 10 in here, the negative of 10 is negative 10. Negative 10 plus 75 is 65. So this idea here is a function of, will come up again later in math. I'm just reviewing it in terms of a linear to show you. But it will happen again and again and again. Let's continue. Now we have more practice. And practice means pause the video and work with these answers. Express y as a function of x. That means we have to solve it for y. So negative 4y equals 12x plus 8. And again, pause your video, work out the answer, play it back to see if you're right, to make sure. And if you're right, perfect, excellent. So the negative 12 moves over to become a plus 12. So y equals mx plus b is going that form. Divide by negative 4. That's a 1 understood there. That's negative 3x minus 2. So y equals, the 1 is not necessary. I just put it there. I'll take it away. So 1y, y equals negative 3x plus 2. Y is now a function of x because y is on the left, x is on the right. Y is all alone on the left side. And that's how I will do a function of one number. And let's do this one. We have the simplified, so let's remove the brackets. Negative 5x plus 10y. Negative 5 times 2 of these, 30. Notice I have to multiply this and this first by BEDMAS, B-E-D-M-A-S, or PEMDAS. I have to remove the brackets because I got to multiply first. I can't do anything inside the brackets. I have no exponents, but I have to do multiplication division from left to right. So I have to remove the brackets. Done. Now, x and y can't add together. 30, 4x and 4y can't add together. So the y's are going to go on the left side. So 4y becomes minus 4, transposition. I have a 4x here. The negative 5 is coming over to the right, changes to plus 5x. And the 30 don't change because it's already on the right. That gives me 6y. That gives me 9x plus 30 because we can only add like terms in algebra. X's to x's, y's to y's, constants to constants. Now I'm solving for y. Y is a function of x, solve for y. So y equals 9 and 6, 3 into 9 goes 3, 3 into 6 goes 2, so I get 3 over 2x plus 5. A line with an x-intercept of 8 and a y-intercept of 6. Well, an x-intercept of 8, if you take the graph, if you got an x-intercept of 8, that's right there, that's an 8, 0. And you got a y-intercept of 6, so that's on this line, to say right there. So that is y-intercept of 6, that means the point is 0, 6. So a y-intercept has the x-coordinate of 0. The x-intercept has a y-coordinate of 0. Think about lying on the axis and you get the coordinates. That means to get the equation of a line into as y is a function of x is the same as saying y equals mx plus b. So I need a slope. So let's call this one x1, y1, x2, y2. So y equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 6, y1 is 0, x2 is 0, x1 is 8, and that gives us 6 over negative 4. So that gives me 2 into 6 goes 3, 2 into 4 goes 2, and the negative is never on the bottom, so it's a negative 3 over 2. So the equation of the line is y equals mx plus b, and y equals slope is negative 3 over 2x, and the y-intercept is given to me. It's already given to me at the beginning, so the b is 6. And that's the equation that represents this line as y is a function of x, which means you're solving for y, which means you're writing as y equals mx plus b. Excuse me. Number 4, we want to express y as a function of x. So we have a perpendicular, we have this box here, which means that's a right angle. So that means these two angles are going to add up to 90. So 6y, 8, subtract 18, add on 12x minus 42 is equal to 90, because perpendicular lines form right angles. So these two angles add up to 90. And we simplify the left side, so 6y, 12x minus negative 18, negative 42 is negative 60. So that's done. So now I'll transpose, I'm solving for y. So 6y equals negative 12x plus 90 plus 60. So the 12x moves over to become negative. The negative 60 moves over to the right to become positive. The negative 90 never moves, so it stays positive. We simplify the right side, and that gives us a plus 150. And we need to solve for y. Y is a function of x, so y is equal to negative 2x plus 150 divided by 6 is 25. So that's y as a function of x. Again, if you work this out, if you said x was 10, that means y would be 5. So if you put 10 here and 5 here, they would add up to 90. So y is a function of x. So when you put x to be 11, that gives you negative 22. Y would be 3. But just note, if you said x was 5, that would give you negative 10. That means y would be 15. But again, this is just making sure we're trying to explain how y is a function of x. But what about if you said y was, let's say 30? Sorry, x was 30. 30 here will give you negative 60. And a negative 60 and 25 won't work because it gives you a negative value for y. And that would give you a negative angle here. So there are restrictions on this value of x to make it true. But that comes up later. That takes us to the end of the video. If you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and write a comment on my video if you wish. And visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, and you get information on me, my degrees and teaching experience. The video section talks about the strategies I'm going to use to help you learn your math. The content section talks about the topics that I have on the YouTube channel, the number of videos on each of those topics, and the black font is the topics that's online right now, and the red font is the topics that will be there in the near future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.